First, Joe Biden is desperate to move on from the crisis that he created, his own making in Afghanistan and, frankly, everywhere else. He hasn't even mentioned it since last week. Now his poll numbers have never been lower, and he is desperate for a political win. Well, first he tried to shift the focus to COVID-19, announcing his brand new, clearly unconstitutional vaccine mandate during a nasty speech where he was scolding and vilifying half the country. But with infections spiking nationwide, Biden's poll numbers surrounding the pandemic, they're also in the tank tonight. So today he tried to shift the focus once again. This time he targeted corporations and millions of Americans who, according to Biden, just aren't paying their fair share. OK, top 10% pay 90% of the bill. Anyway, I wonder if this includes Zero Experience Hunter, who's reportedly being investigated for not paying taxes. Is Hunter included, Joe? Now, regardless, Biden's remedy, a massive tax hike or tax hikes in order to raise funds for something Democrats are now calling human infrastructure. In other words, big government socialism, from welfare to child care to Medicare to more Obamacare to pre-K to daycare to free college to college tuition forgiveness, all in the name of climate change. You see, climate change, as defined in the swamp, as swamp jargon, that equals socialism. Now, of course, any tax hike on corporations, you will pay that. That will be passed on to the consumers. And the inflation from any massive spending bill, that will hurt lower-income Americans the most. In fact, after this year's reckless federal spending of Biden, Wall Street Journal is reporting, quote, for the lowest paid Americans, real wages adjusted for rising prices fell 0.5% in August. That is a dramatic decline. People are paying more for energy, to fill their tanks with gasoline, to heat and cool their homes. And they're paying more for every product they buy in every store because it costs more to ship it there. That means the spending power for lower income Americans went down. Their salaries were essentially slashed because of Biden's policies. But today, as per usual, you didn't get the truth from Joe Biden. Instead, we get a whole lot of hacking and coughing. I don't know. Biden's been battling this mysterious illness for weeks. Take a look.
I'm not sure you know it, but if you didn't know it, you should. Meanwhile, for these Republican governors, it isn't about public health, about the health of the people. It's about politics. Mississippi, children are required to be vaccinated against measles.
And we can continue to do it. COVID, the data shows that the overwhelming majority of Americans agree with my proposal. There's no surprise. We're also going after the bad actors and pandemic profiteers in our economy. The amounts that come into their bank accounts and what amounts go out of their bank accounts.
Joe, it's called Ricola. You might want to get some. It works. I use my voice 4 hours a day. But don't worry, Jen Psaki claims that her boss, Joe Biden, is totally fine, healthy as an ox. If that's the case, the ox may need medical attention. And, of course, Biden's coughing fits are not unprecedented. Maybe no one in the history of American politics had a worse cough than failed presidential candidate Hillary Rodham Clinton. It was getting pretty bad. And then when she fell down at ground zero, that was even worse. Take a look.
I've been talking so too much to say.
I don't know. I have my own suspicions. Anyway, we are happy that Hillary eventually got better, even though she will never fully recover from her humiliating defeat to President Trump. But for what it's worth, at least Hillary could usually remember names and dates and was not the complete cognitive mess that Joe Biden is. This week, yet another example. Joe couldn't remember the name of Australia's prime minister during a meeting with Australia's prime minister. Take a look.
Thank you. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Boris. And I want to thank that fellow down under. Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate it, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you, Boris, and that guy from down under the guy. For the record, Joe, he's the Prime Minister. His name is Scott Morrison. I think we can see, why Vice President Harris frequently conducts all these meetings with foreign leaders instead of Biden. And, of course, she does have plenty of time. Biden's border czar, Kamala, has done absolutely nothing to fix the crisis at the southern border. Now, this is a scene at the border. Look at your screen. Over the past 24 hours, 4,000 migrants crossed into Texas, were apprehended by Border Patrol, including many unaccompanied children. On Tuesday night, 2 babies rescued by Border Patrol after they were abandoned right in the middle of the Rio Grande. And as you can see, the situation is so dire that Texas Governor Greg Abbott attempted to shut down 6 points of entry with Mexico, and then the Biden administration blocked his efforts. So far this year, in the middle of a pandemic, more than 1.5 million illegal immigrants have been apprehended and then processed and allowed into the country from the southern border, including over 200,000 alone in the month of August. And a lot of them are put in those overcrowded Biden cages in the middle of a pandemic with a high rate of COVID positivity. Oh, and by the way, they're not tested, and there's no vaccine mandate. And then they are dispersed to the rest of the country, many with COVID. This is essentially and officially now the biggest super spreader event in human history, and the financial and human toll is extreme. Joe Biden doesn't seem to care. In fact, Joe Biden hasn't said one word about the border crisis in over a month. And breaking tonight, according to our own Bill Malugin, we showed you this is drone footage from Fox News. The FAA, they just implemented a flight restriction over this international bridge right there, trying to prevent Fox's drone from showing you, the American people, the truth and capturing images just like this. In other words, the FAA is being used to cover up for Biden's failures. We're going to let that stand? I don't think so.